So there's a video circulating, gaining a lot of traction, and the conversation is growing about MrBeast. MrBeast has or is planning to drill 100 wells across Kenyan schools. I don't know where in. I saw he's even calling some place Nairobi. No, you can't even say Nairobi. You understand what's wrong with these Muzungus? Muzungus are very disgusting. Because we are trying to project, or we are trying to validate the stereotype that Kenya or Africa is a dark continent, dependent on handouts, dependent on philanthropic interventions. I would have expected that MrBeast, when he comes to Kenya, he's going to a place meeting young intellectuals. There's all these collectives of people who do a lot of IT stuff to talk about things to an audience who will take that and translate it into action, into money, into job creation, into wealth creation. But no, these guys have they are now going there, and now he's promoting as if we are a poor country. We are not a poor country. First of all those regions that he's going to have something called community development fund. It goes to the tune of say $100,000 every. Not even $100,000 is $1 million every year allocation. $1 million specifically for building schools. What do? The parents of those children are bribed with $10 so as to vote for corrupt people. And where does and then now let's go to the devolution. There's been 4 trillion Kenya shillings. 4 trillion Kenya shillings could be I don't know how much it could be. It could be probably 40 billion US dollars, which has been devolved to the county regions. Do these counties do anything about the schools? No. Why? Because MrBeast, if he took time to talk to people who are politically conscious, would tell you that the governors who get all this money, who get all these allocations, they don't do what is expected of them. What do they do instead? They hide the money, they launder it in the real estate sector. Yeah, and then they are all friends with who? With the US ambassador. Like now, Meg Whitman. Immediately, President Ruto was sworn in. She was a frequent visitor of State House. So they are very connected to the US regime. Actually, America is the problem as regards to extending the streak of poverty. America is the biggest problem because they are the ones who launder proceeds of crime in your banking systems. You understand? America is part of the problem, and you, MrBeast, are not supposed to be coming here to validate some of these long-held stereotypes and narratives that Africa is a dark continent. Africa is poor. No, we are not poor. We are the richest continent on earth. And what do? If you are really genuine, you should be going back there and doing your activism, reaching out to and even talking about these issues to your leaders, because Joe Biden, Donald Trump, they have embraced the corrupt Kenyan leadership. They are very for other reasons. They talk about security, they talk about what, they talk about terrorism, but it's never about our interests. So the people who have created the imbalance, the people who have caused poverty to become a way of life in Kenya, most of the responsibility is the Western governments, is the Western regimes. They are the ones who get who have created a camaraderie with the corrupt African leadership, so that our money ends up there. Also, secondly, trade barriers which have been implemented by the American regime. You understand? These are things which are hurting us, Kenyans and Africans by extension. We need trade, not aid. We need a hand up, not a handout. You understand? So these boreholes you are digging, the Kenyan government, even the smallest fund allocation is called the Constituency Development Fund, can handle it. In fact, now those schools, the parents of those schools, the parents and the citizenry of the Kenyan Republic are fond of, and you never took the time to even research. They are paid, they are bribed with $10 by politicians to vote for the most corrupt, the most toxic, the dumbest of the crop. And then now it's always about philanthropy, and you can see the kids there complaining. And this cycle, MrBeast is only redefining the NGO interventions. We've had even here NGOs for many years who have been engaged in similar interventions, but the problems are still persisting, 30 years, 50 years down the line. So what is the problem? The problem is our money, our productivity is still extracted by the Western capitals, Western regimes. You should be going there using your platform, your big platform, MrBeast, to tell Joe Biden that he is part of the problem. The US trade representative came here and they banned a cabinet secretary from joining a meeting, not because he's a corrupt person, not because he has been mentioned in the most, some of the biggest scandals ever since this government took over last year. He was banned because of his tweets. This is you can see the warped priorities of the Western nations, the Western regimes, that you're banning somebody. This guy is corrupt, but corruption is not your issue. Corruption is not your concern. You're only concerned because he did a tweet, I don't know, insulting who, I don't know, demeaning women. Those are your collective objectives. So MrBeast, we no longer need philanthropy. We don't need you in exchange for views, because you are still going to recover all your money from the views, on the social media platforms. In exchange for views, now you're going to leave a lasting image about Kenya, that as regards to our situation. No, we are not a poor country. We have a lot of resources. We have stuff. We export coffee to America and stuff like that. In fact, every day they are creating more trade barriers to make access of our products difficult. And so that you guys are still benefiting, you're still gaining from the imbalance, and then you come to throw us those handouts here, and then you make a big charade, a big media frenzy over here, and then most of the Kenyans cannot be able to relate. So the problem is the Western regimes. You should use your platform to go and tell Joe Biden and Donald Trump and all the government officials over there that they are the ones who are laundering money. They are the ones who are banking money which has been stolen from our country. And instead of banning these officials, instead of confiscating and finding a way to return that money to the Kenyan people, they are still entertaining. They are still they are having this brotherhood. They are having this camaraderie, which is at the end of the day coming at our expense. I saw another lady there complaining about a bishop in Naivasha called Abiud Masinde. Bishop Abiud Masinde met this lady in 2017, and they started talking about building a school, building a children's home, I don't know for what. And this lady is talking about she's been stolen. She's not being also very forthcoming, because why would you stay for so long with somebody? Because first of all, the foreigners who come to Kenya, instead of you engaging and talking with the right people, you are so susceptible to these people with smooth mouths who hide behind religion. So you've gone there, you've donated money, the money was not used. I'm pretty sure you had you had thought about this, or you had foreseen it, but you still went ahead and gave him money, and then now you're coming to complain to us that you're going to here, you're not getting help. Now we are tired of these kind of interventions. We are tired of them. We need people who are building or coming to help us build our trade channels, our trade routes. We are trying to encourage, we are trying to boost the productivity of young people with skills deficit. We are trying to connect for trade, for exports. You understand? We've been having this so-called AGOA. Everyone is now panicking about AGOA, saying that Uganda, they've been removed from AGOA. We've been having AGOA since 2005. I don't know, even earlier. Has it helped our economy? No. Has it helped any industry? No. So the trade imbalances, which are first of all signed by our leadership. For instance, there is a time former President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2020, at the height of COVID, did a trade deal, a trade agreement with the US. It wasn't about Kenya, it was about Israel. Because somehow Israel was sneaked into the agenda, and we're wondering, so it wasn't about helping Kenyan enterprises, Kenyan producers, Kenyan manufacturers to access the US market. It was not and never has been. It was about Israel. It was about helping Israel products get into the country. So we are tired of these NGOs. Even that lady, as much as your money has been stolen, why were you coming to engage with corrupt clergy? You could have used your money to boost people. Your work is not to intervene and help young children over there. We have funds dedicated for that. Your work is to help now people who can boost, who can create jobs. Yeah, because how many schools can you build? You cannot build the schools for the entire Kenyan population. No, but there's a way you can help these people who have graduated and have no jobs. That's how you should be tuning your interventions. We are tired of these handouts, everyone. We are tired of these shows which are depicting Kenya to be the dark continent. We are tired.